This is Chris York. At the tone, leave your name and message. I'll get back to you.
Hello, Chris. I heard your parody you did about my movie. I wasn't very happy. I might have to break both your fucking legs.
Eyewitness accounts say the creature has teeth, leathery wings, a beak, and claws. It is a vampiric creature associated with witchcraft, often the servant or familiar of a witch or witch doctor. So it's a lightning, vampire, Thorbird. Hairy man on man. And these flightless bats that he suggests will come about hunt on the ground in packs using echolocation and just eat everything. Bigfoot may have tickled somebody's balls, aliens may have anally probed people, and your Fortean Slip Daily Dose starts now. Hello everybody, and welcome to the Fortean Slip Daily Dose 41. This is the Dreams and the Dreaming Dreamers Who Dream Them episode. Talked before about dream imagery coming true. Never really talked about interpreting dreams in and of themselves. What I think about that. Before I start in on the topic at hand, I'd like to give a shout out to Dreadfun for the new show artwork. It will be appearing on screen as I speak. He did a great 2 new pieces of artwork for the show. He did one for the Daily Dose, which is me as Doctor Strange with Steve sitting in a lawn chair basically eating a can of Spam, and another one where Steve and I are in the foreground and there is a Justin Smeha style character shooting a Bigfoot standing atop a pile of cryptids, just everything. And Fred just did absolutely great work on both pieces. They came out perfect. I asked him, I gave him the imagery that I wanted. I gave him the idea, and he ran with it, and I couldn't be happier. They came out great. So I will be switching those around, putting some, fucking the YouTube channels, the name of the fucking show, all that bullshit on there, and then be using those like I use the Cryptids Playing Poker. But I always was fascinated with dreams and dream imagery from a very, very young age. When I was extremely young, around like 5, I was having a reoccurring nightmare. At the time, of course, I had no idea what it meant. All I knew is it scared the shit out of me. And the nightmare went as such. There was an oil monster attacking the area that I lived in. I would assume the whole world, but the area that I lived in, most importantly. And at the time, when I was that young, my uncle and my grandmother lived side by side, and their houses were in an old apple orchard field. And my grandfather had a shit ton of land. And my uncle's place was set up in the field. It was a trailer. And they had a huge problem with the field mice at that time. Like, you couldn't walk through the yard without almost stepping on the fucking things. They were everywhere. I mean, you just see them fucking everywhere. So, in the dream, I guess my young mind, wrapping shit around itself in some weird way, put together that the mice were the thing that kept the oil monster at bay. So as long as we were at my uncle's place, We were all together as a family. Everything was okay. And then we'd start splitting up to go like get other people. That's when shit got hairy. But I kept having this recurring dream over and over and over and over. And it fascinated me, like the idea of the imagery in this dream. And of course now, being an adult and looking back on it, it's quite simple to me. I felt safe when my family was all together. And the imagery was just there to wrap all that together. As far as like dream interpretation books, dream symbolism books, like these dream dictionaries, I don't buy into that shit. Fucking no. I don't think that a dictionary or a set rule for symbolism for people is the way to go when you're interpreting your dreams. Dreams are very much like therapy or psychology, for that matter. It depends on the person. Everything isn't indicative of the same thing. I don't believe that for a second. You know, a banana for me may be just a banana. A banana for somebody else may mean something else. That's just the fucking way that it is. And that's the way that I see it. You know, I could very well be wrong. But as far as when I've looked at my own dreams, as far as looking at myself in an introspective way, I've never found myself to be, way off base. And my dreams, as far as their symbolism, have always seemed to reflect the periods of my life that I was in at the time. And I have had dreams where, obviously, I've told the stories on the show where I've had the dream of something happening and then it came true. You know, what is that? I don't fucking know. What is dream imagery to, beyond that? I don't really fucking know. I always had this idea that dreams were a key to our waking reality. Like, if we could figure out what it is that was there, that we might be able to understand more about this thing that is just far too complex for us to fucking understand. But it's a rabbit hole that just keeps going and going and going. But I was always fascinated with the idea of lucid dreaming, understanding your dreams, taking control of your dreams. Lucid dreaming, I've done it like a couple of times. I've never had like complete control over it. I remember Joe Rogan telling something about lucid dreaming, and if you wanted to lucid dream, the best thing you could do, and it's a conditioning thing too. You have to do it constantly, and you have to commit to it. You have to seriously fuck it just clockwork. Anytime you go through a doorway, knock on the doorway frame and say, am I awake or am I dreaming? And eventually, at one point in a dream, you'll come to a doorway. You'll do that because you've conditioned yourself to do it so much that you do it subconsciously. And that helps you to take control of your dreams. I'd bought like lucid dreaming books, how to lucid dream, conditioning yourself for that. I never was able to do that with any great frequency. Like I said, it was a couple of times that I was able to do anything at all. And it was fascinating because I've always been fascinated with just flight. So of course, anytime I lucid dreamed, I just flew because it was fun. But of course, I didn't accomplish anything fucking concrete and worthwhile. Just fucked off. But I find the symbolism in dreams to be this, complex personal tool. It's not, I don't think it's one, standard. I don't think there's a standard across the board for every person. I don't think that everybody has the same set of rules when it comes to this. I think it's all on a one-on-one, person-by-person basis. This has been the Fortean Slip Daily Dose, episode not really a cold. It's brought to you by the lovely Maine weather this year. I am going to get these daily doses back on a regular schedule. It's just been crazy with trying to put together some other projects that I've been working on. Shit that's been going on. My kids were on vacation. I wanted to spend some time with them, etc., etc., etc. Excuses, excuses, excuses. If you like this shit, as always, hit the like button. If you don't, hit the little thumbs down button. Hit subscribe. Leave a comment. Toodles, people.